Simon Odie.
Oh, Odie.
Yeah. So what do you look for a guy when he does that?
Well, Odie's done such a good job all season long since he's gotten into camp. I mean, the real cool thing about Odie is that when he got in here and he was a couple of days behind, is how fast he picks stuff up. Actually, I was just talking to him today. He's got an exam going on in his math class on Wednesday on integrals and all different kinds of upper-level mathematics stuff. So he's a really smart kid. So, he's doing a great job in terms of giving us the looks that we need right now. He knows he physically needs to get a little bit bigger and stronger, but he's an awesome guy to coach. He really
said
is
he
fun.
put on 20 pounds already.
Yeah, he has. Yes, yeah, he's got to get a little bit thicker. He's not the biggest kid you've ever seen. So he's going to have to do everything. But I think in the near future, you're going to see him getting an opportunity. Probably not this year, but next year, getting some opportunities on some special teams, just because of the nature of how he plays and how assignment sound he is.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No problem.
So, we mentioned Doman.
JoJo?
He's working some with you.
Yeah, he's working a lot with me right now, doing a good job. Obviously, there's, his skill set lends itself to be a lot of cover stuff. And so when we use him in some coverage, it can keep a lot of our defense consistent when we have different personnel groupings out there. Rather than trying to change things schematically, you can change things with some personnel. So sometimes you can put him in there to be in the coverage, or especially over a slot or somebody like that, when there's matchup issues for a normal outside linebacker. And then he's stout enough. He's about 222 pounds, so he's strong enough. If he's got to get in, he's got to get nasty and get at the point, that he's got the ability to do that. And he's strong enough, and he's got to get a little of that DB out of him yet, in terms of we're going down in the box, but it's coming along.
Somebody said yesterday that you got to be careful because he'll knock you out when he gets you.
For a DB.
Yeah.
For a DB.
He's still got to get there for an
yeah, he's not quite to that point yet.
You guys finding a little more continuity on special teams, it looks like, maybe?
I think so. I think a lot of the lessons that we've been trying to work through throughout the course of the season are starting to come to fruition, and a lot of those things are starting to pan out for us. The big thing obviously is still, when you have unblocked players to the ball carrier, you've got to make the tackle. And on the one big return, we had 2 unblocked players. One kid fell down, and one guy missed the tackle. And when you have 2 unblocked players, that's not good if they get a big return on it. So, but a lot of the other things that we work on, skill sets in terms of making skim tackles and understanding your leverage and where to be, those things have gotten dramatically better over the course of the last 2 to 3 weeks.
What kind of lift has JoJo given you on special teams? I mean, it looked like
he's done a really good job. He was one of the cogs we were missing early on in the season, obviously. I think he's been a factor when he's been in on special teams. Whether or not he was making the tackle, he was affecting the ability of the returner to run the football. So even though there was the one, it might have been the first punt of the game, where JoJo he beat the guy blocking him, got to the returner, forced him to change direction, and Colin Miller came in and made the tackle on their sideline. So even though JoJo didn't make the tackle, he affected the play. So when you have guys like that, I mean, that just lends itself to being a lot better. When you finally get all your pieces starting to get healthy again and getting enough bank of reps to understand what we're trying to do, it starts to show up.
What do you know about Bethune-Cookman? Just kind of early look at them. And
they're from Daytona. They do some really good stuff schematically. They've got some really good athletes that they try to put their guys out in space. So we're going to have to be really sound in our space tackling, being out in space and tackling those guys out in the middle of the field, or they're putting the ball out in the bubble screen and things like that. They've got some really athletic quarterbacks. They're going to test our ability to be consistent in terms of our pass rush lanes. They've got 2 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks that I've seen on film so far that really move around in the pocket really well, and they can throw it on the run. So they're going to do a good job with that. So we've got to do a good job of making sure we keep the quarterback in the pocket.
So they're using more than one?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of quarterbacks. And I was out on the road recruiting most of yesterday, and so I was watching it on my iPad like this the whole time when I had a free minute. So it's as I got to watch it, there was more than one quarterback getting used.
Where'd you go yesterday?
I was all over the place, Bob. I'm all over the place.
How many of you guys were out yesterday?
2 or 3.
So you guys left Sunday and just did a full
late
one
Sunday night. Late Sunday night, and then the suggestion was made for us to have, give the players a day off. So that ended up working out for me really well, because I get nervous whenever I'm not here and something's going on. The nature of being a coach.
Did you all the way down to Florida, or did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was down in Florida. So, and then I was down there for a couple hours and came right back.
Check on your old house, and then
I'd like to. That would be nice. That would be nice to do that. I didn't get quite that far south, but yeah, I was down and out doing that. Yeah.